This is our arena theater. It's one of 5 theaters we have at camp. This one is a theater in the round, and so we can do fully immersive theater, Shakespeare, Cats, Hair, things like that. As a camper here, you'll have the opportunity to perform in multiple spaces, and that means you learn how to react or how to work in multiple spaces. You'll see shows, you'll see different things going on, and it adds a lot of richness to our program. Like all our other theaters, the arena has a sound and light system, has a space for musicians. We do a lot of live music for our performances, and it's one of my favorite theaters. This is our cat theater. It's our smallest theater. It's a black box, which means that everything can be blacked out. It's used a lot for the intimate theater, for small shows, for our youngest kids, because it's a nice contained space. It also has the benefit of being an air-conditioned space, which is delightful when you come to visit and see your kids in shows. We call this one the Scott Theater. It's our most modern theater space. It's equipped with a full fly system and with the beautiful movie theater style seats. It's air-conditioned, and we do a lot of shows in here as well. This space also is where we do our film festivals, we do some music concerts. It's a great all-around space. Let me show you what this space looks like when there's a show going on.
I'm rocking to the core. Who can ask for more? I'm nothing like the kid next door. I'm rocking to the core. I'm rocking to the mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the baddest of all them all?
Behind the stage in this theater, you can see the controls for our full fly system. We also have a full tech theater program. Kids can learn to run lights and sound, to build sets, paint backdrops, to run the stage during the show, all that kind of stuff as well. And we have a lot of kids who are not so much into being on the stage, but interested in helping make the productions go. We have classes in stage management and in direction and in playwriting. So any interest you have in theater, you can pursue at French Woods. Also in this theater, we have a special upstairs and to the side orchestra pit. Everything that's done here is piped in up to the soundboard. And that means that we can do modern shows where everything is loud all the time and everybody's amplified in order to be able to be heard. So part of the experience you get in this theater is the experience of wearing a body mic and being mic'd for a performance and how to perform for that as well. This is the Playhouse Theater. It actually was a bar. And one of the nice features about this theater is that the orchestra pit is actually in the middle of the stage, so that action can take place in front of the orchestra as well. This is a traditional old-style theater with multiple wings for entrances, and you can see the seats all the way going back to the back of the barn behind me. Working with an orchestra is really exciting for somebody who's doing musical theater because it lets you work in conjunction with the musicians. It's also terribly rewarding for the musicians. Our campers are playing in the orchestras, and so they get the experience of playing the level of music that is currently being written for Broadway and the exciting new tunes that they know. This is our largest and most famous theater. We call it the Pavilion. All of our famous alumni who come back to French Woods always stand here and go, oh my God, it's the place where I performed my first show. We have the set up now for our last show of the year last year, Matilda. There's 2 levels of seating in this theater, so we can fit almost all of camp here at once. Here's where our largest musical performances happen, where our big theater shows happen, and it's very exciting always to walk out onto the show, onto the stage here.
Revolting children living in revolting times. We sing revolting songs, using revolting rhymes. We'll be revolting children till our revolting sun, and we'll have the time revolting, we're revolting.
Backstage at the Pavilion, we have a massive scene shop where we build sets for all the shows. You can tell from the size of the space here that we can build really large professional quality sets and then wheel them out on the stage or move them to the other theaters. We actually have 2 full scene shops at French Woods that build all the sets for as many as 80 shows that we do every summer. So you can imagine this is a pretty busy space. But still, everything we do, we include the kids in. So they can learn to build sets, learn to run scenery, learn to paint and decorate and make things look real. All the magic that is theater relies on the stuff that happens backstage. Also in this building, there's a prop shop, There's a massive closet full of almost anything you'll ever need to put on a show, and there's a full woodworking shop where we can build and saw and put together the platforms and bases and stairs and sets that we need for whatever show we're doing. Every show we do at French Woods has its own creative team that does all the design work, that works together on the music and the sets and the scenery and the costumes to make it all come together. It's never canned, it's never costumes that are bought out of a catalog. It's always the vision of the creative people doing the work, and that way everything is always fresh and exciting. This massive building is our costume shop. We have more than 40,000 costumes in place that we can use for our shows. So every one of our shows gets a full set of costuming for every character. And if you have 6 costume changes in a show, there'll be 6 costumes and a dresser backstage to help you with that. We hire professional costumers to work on our shows, and we also teach classes, and you can learn how to sew, you can learn how to build costumes, you can help costume a show. All of the backstage stuff is just as important as the front of stage stuff, and kids learn all of theater here at French Woods.